Hi, my name is Nicolas Benner. I'm a photographer in the publications office at the University of Missouri. My most recent assignment for Illumination involved making documentary photographs to illustrate a story about what health professionals call care deficits among pregnant, low-income women living in rural areas. Tina Bloom, the Mizzou faculty researcher who inspired the story, has found that stress-related joblessness, social isolation, and sometimes mental or physical abuse is having a negative effect on the well-being of both mothers and their newborn children. Whenever I'm confronted with a story like this, my first thought is about access. How am I going to find subjects who will help me tell the story? And then, how do I convince them to allow me to intimately document their lives? This process involves a lot of hurry up and wait. I'm rushing against deadlines to find these willing subjects, but when I'm actually there in the home, I spend a lot of time just hanging out with them. I'm sort of patiently working to create a personal connection, kind of a level of trust that will allow them to be comfortable around me, therefore letting me truly capture their lives. With Kaylee, Nathan, and their 6-month-old daughter Gracie, it really didn't take much time at all because their time was mostly spent taking care of Gracie. And since Gracie demanded so much attention, I was really able to just kind of work in the background without them really taking much notice in me. It's very important to me that the work I'm doing is both respectful and truthful. And sometimes that's a difficult balance to find, especially when the story like this one involves issues that may trigger certain preconceptions or prejudices on the part of readers. I really need to be conscious of the fact that someone who sees the pictures might not read the story. They might not even look at the cut lines. So I've got to think seriously about how the subjects are going to be perceived. For this story, I really try to achieve that balance by focusing more on intimate moments happening among family members and less on their lived environments. One image in particular that I remember making uses warm window light to illuminate Kaylee as she cares for Gracie. Kaylee was holding her and hugging her and kissing her. I kind of used that photo to make it easier for readers to identify with who she is and not really the stereotype of her environment. These types of stories are my favorite kind of stories to tell. They're people stories, human interest stories, stories about the human experience that we all are going through. This story about a young couple in rural Missouri doing the best they can to provide for their child. It's a fundamental human thing, caring for our young. And to see people struggling to do it is difficult. But I can honestly say that I was inspired by Kaylee and Nathan and Gracie. They haven't been dealt the best hand in life, but they're still moving on. I'm not a healthcare provider or a public policy expert, so I can't change things that way. But what I can do as a photographer is find and document stories like this one, stories that I think will help inspire others to change things for the better.